You asked me to figure out where this video was recorded, so I did. Hi, I'm Jose Monkey, and I find people who ask to be found. This one's a little bit different, guys. It's been on my list for a while, and I only just got around to looking at it yesterday. So what can we see? As the video opens, we mostly just see a parking lot. This building has some kind of crest or sign on it, but I couldn't really tell what it was. As the camera turns, we can see some trees here, which immediately made me think southeastern US. But I didn't have to ponder that for very long, because right after that we get a North Carolina state flag. After that, the camera keeps turning and we see a few other things. We see a sign here that appears to say something beach, but I couldn't really make it out. And there's water here, which isn't surprising given the beach sign. And then we see what look like two sort of trestle type structures over here near the water. I also made a note of the fact that the corner of the building here where this person is standing appears to be a fairly regular shape, like an octagon or a hexagon. You can tell from the roof and the columns. Now, for people who are familiar with this area, you may already know what this location is, and you may even know exactly where it is. But it wasn't immediately obvious to me, so let me explain how I found it. So it took me a little while to figure out what these structures were. I thought about the fact that the road seems to go right up to the water here, as if cars were going to drive through those trestles, which didn't make very much sense to me, because where the heck would they drive to? There's water there. And right when I had that thought, I realized that this is probably where they load cars onto a ferry. I did some searching for images of ferry terminals just to make sure, and I saw some that looked kind of like this, so I figured I was right. The North Carolina Department of Transportation operates 21 different ferries on 7 different routes that go in and out of 13 different ferry terminals. So I just needed to figure out which one this was. I started looking at each one, and let me tell you guys, the Google Street View for many of these locations is very out of date. After looking at several of them, I noticed this one at Minnesota Beach. There was no Google Street View here, and the satellite view didn't really match, but I wasn't interested in this location so much as the name. Minnesota Beach seemed like it might be what I was seeing on that blurry sign in the video. It occurred to me that that sign was probably telling people how to get to Minnesota Beach, not that they were at Minnesota Beach. By the way, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I looked it up and I think I'm saying it right. Anyway, I figured that maybe Minnesota Beach was on one end of a ferry route and that there was another terminal on the other end. So I just followed the ferry route across to see where it landed. The satellite view of the other terminal looked pretty promising. The corner of the building looked like the right shape, and the lanes leading up to the terminals also looked pretty consistent with what I saw in the video. So I went to check it out, and guys, that was it. We're at the Cherry Branch Ferry Terminal in Cherry Branch, North Carolina. So like I said, the Google Street View for the area near the terminal was really outdated. It was from like 2007, and it looked quite a bit different than it does today. In fact, I wasn't even sure it was right at first. But that's because the building that you were standing near when you recorded this video wasn't even there in 2007. It wasn't constructed until about 10 years later. And I know that because I found this article about when that building opened in 2017. That article thought it was very important to point out that the bathrooms at the new place smelled better than the old place, so that's good, I guess. But it also showed me this photo. This is very clearly the building that you were standing by in your video. Everything about it looks right, and we can see that crest or logo or whatever it is on the side of the building. You were standing right here by the steps. Guys, please like and share, and if you'd like me to find you, record a video where you say, "Find me, Jose Monkey," or something like that on camera, or hold up a sign that says something similar. And don't forget to tag me in a comment on that video.